Hey guys, it's Vanity Ezel back in the Card Fight Vanguard Ezel and Vanity weekly review, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't like, comment, subscribe, don't start. This time we're covering more reviews from the Festival Collection, and also, actually I don't know if the Festival Collection is done at the time of recording this. I don't really remember, but I know we're starting stuff in set 3, so let's get this started, shall we, and see what we got. First up, we have against Spear Dragon, grade turns to 5k shield, 8k base, continues rear guard circle. If your Vanguard's grade is less than equal to if your Vanguard's grade is less than your opponent's Vanguard, or you have 4 more cards in the damage zone, plus 5,000 power, 5k shield. I'm not going to go over this again. It's a thing. 13k base, 10k shield, take that as you will. We have Dignified Bullet of Duststorm Mallory. I swear, or Mallory, I swear that's a card that already exists, but maybe I'm thinking of Mallory. Anyways, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto rear guard with 2 attacks or boost. If your opponent's Vanguards are grade 3 or greater and your opponent has 1 or less rear guards, this unit will get plus 1 power for that battle. Okay, in any deck that retires rear guards consistently and can consistently bring the opponent down to 1 or less, automatically this is a 4 on the simple factors if it's an 18k booster and or swinger the second your opponent hits grade 3. This grade 1's actually really cool. I like her a lot. Please, Bushy, give us a grade 4 Eugene or an alternate grade 3 Eugene for me to warrant trying to build a new Eugene deck just to shove her into it, because I really want to now. 4 of Mallory is just a very beautiful grade 1. Then we have Flower Storm Dragon, a card who I thought was really cool the day it was released, and then upon like the next week, Bushy immediately ruined this card for me because it revealed it was another Cycle card, and as you all know, 95% of Cycle cards I hate. Grade 2 instead of 5k shield, 10k base, auto and discard from your hand during your turn. If your Vanguards are grade 2 or greater, Soul Boss 1 call this card to rear guard. If it's your battle phase, it cannot attack until the end of the turn, but it can still boost, and the reason why I mentioned that is continues rear guard. If your order card was put into your drop zone this turn, it gets boost. I like how that's what like Stoic Haze is meant to be. Like, all of them have that type of skill where they can gain boost via some BS, and all of them have the superior call skill. I don't get why that this one specifically is you have to have an order card in drop zone. I feel like for Stoicheia, card abilities could count, but I guess because the Keter one does, at least I think it does, it makes that one order, which I guess is easier, but still, because not every Stoicheia deck plays orders, not to my memory. Either way though, Flower Storm is a good grade 2. I just the fact that it's a Cycle card ruined it for me. It's a nice 3 over 4, but I guess it's cool looking, I'm just saying. Then we have the thing that gets rid of my disappointment temporarily and brings me to another point of disappointment. Super Dimensional Fortress Die Base. Not this card specifically, just the entirety of DP. Grade 0 set order base. After set orders play, put it to your order zone. Act order zone if you have Vanguard Dimensional Robo in its card name. Restless card, energy charge 1. That you have to 1 grade 2 or less card with Dimensional Robo in its card name from your drop zone. Put it to soul. And if this card is put into your soul, or if this card was into your order zone this turn, instead of choosing from your drop zone, you may search your deck instead. And if you search your deck, you shuffle it. All around, that's pretty solid because that's just a free deck search. It's a grade 0 order, meaning you can play it while you're at grade 1. And it's a base, meaning it works with both DP and B heroes, and then Act Order Zone. If you have Vanguard Dimensional Robo in its card name, Energy Blast 2 and rest this card. Choose up to 1 grade 2 unit card with Dimensional Robo in its card name from your soul, and call it to rear guard first, but any grade 2 or less card with Dimensional Robo in its card name, so there's that. But that's cool. It's soul charge, and then it can get you another one out. My only hate towards this card is the fact that it is restricted to D. Because this skill you physically cannot use unless it's in D, and to my understanding you can use this in premium because you complete the skill as much as possible, and because energy charge is not a part of the cost but just a part of the effect, I feel like even if you don't energy charge in premium, you can use this to put something to soul. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like, I'm so mad that they restricted this card to being like basically only usable in D, because setting stuff to soul, as well as helpful as that is in premium, it would be a lot better if it could call from soul. So I don't know. I think this order is really cool. I like its art. I like its skill. I just hate the fact that like they pretty much gave any chance of it being used in premium a gunshot to the knee. So take that as you will. It's a nice 4 of though, and it is a possible 2 of tech and B heroes if you want more base options. Then we have Dimensional Robo Go. You show grades with a boost 5k. Shows get base. Auto roll upon for second draw card. Standard start and special free draw if you go second. It is actually important to the entirety of the deck, but it's like a 1 of option. Actually, it's not really a 1 of option because you warrant this. Now that I'm realizing it, this card is actually a lot more useful inherently. Anyways, actually, wait, no, never mind. I just remember what the other card that involves it does. Anyways, Dimensional Robo Dilander, grade 1 boost 5k, show deck base, auto and placed on Vanguard, circle, or search for 1 base card, reveal, play to hand, shuffle your deck. So you can use it to fetch Aegis, you can use it to fetch this one. Either way, it's just a free order, which is nice. And then auto and placed on rear guard circle from your soul by your card's ability. If you have a Vanguard that's grade 3 or greater with Daishin in its card name. All your Vanguards in this unit go plus 5,000 power without turn, so 13k. And the Vanguard will be an 18k, which is solid. It's a free numbers, don't get me wrong. I just hate the fact that this has to be placed by card abilities, specifically from the soul. Like, card abilities in general, okay, that's fine. But specifically from the soul, meaning you have to use die base, because to my memory, there is no other card in the entirety of DP that calls from soul, or let alone calls Dilander. There might be cards that call from soul. I don't think it specifies that you can call Dilander, but it's fine. It's a good card, free numbers, and it is cycle fodder, but take that as you will. And then we have Die Dragon, my least favorite of these. Auto when rode upon by Dimensional Robo Super Daisha, call it to rearguard, and then auto when placed on rearguard circle from the soul by your card's abilities, including itself. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Daisha's card name till end of your opponent's next turn, this unit gets auto rearguard when your Vanguard's attack retire. Choose one Vanguards, it gets plus 15k for that battle, and it gets plus 5k for this turn, or until the end of the turn. So 15k is pretty solid, and then not to mention the fact that it's a 15k base and it's a plus 15k to Vanguard, which is really good defensively and pretty much allows you to defend yourself through any means. I just don't know why I don't like this card. I feel like, oh wait, I know why I don't like this card, because the whole point of Daisha is you're going to want to have a bunch of different names on board, and somehow, not by choice, the deck will just give me all of my Die Dragons, and then my board will be the equivalent to Die Dragon spam, because I don't like calling over my rear guards. So, as much as I like Die Dragon, I would appreciate if he stopped showing up as much as he did. It's still a good, really well defensive card though, so it's a nice 3 of and nice 1 of in the ride deck. Then we have Super Dimensional Robo, Daisha, the card that was so close to being good, and then they gave him a shot in the kneecap and then told him no. Grade 3, 200% 13k base, auto Vanguard once per turn when attacks into anything. Counterblast when to draw a card. Okay, that's just good. But of course, when I suggest they put that on a Divine Sister, that is literally what I suggested for them to do to a Divine Sister at some point. They said no, but then they put it on Daisha and suddenly it's all hunky-dory. Anyways, if your opponent's Vanguards are grade 3 or greater, choose any number of your units with Dimensional Robo and their different card names, including itself, and it'll get plus 5,000 power for that turn. Okay, cool. If you haven't noticed, the whole point of this version of DP is specifically just to make everyone better, instead of just specifically the Vanguard. Feels kind of boring, but I mean, to be fair, that's what early DP was. Like, the Vanguard did get, more numbers overall, but it wasn't necessarily, big. It was just, more numbers compared to everyone else, which is what it does now. And then auto Vanguard once per turn, they add about this, you attack into anything. Put a hand card to soul, stand it. Okay, so pretty much the card you draw, and then it loses 2 drives for the turn. But if your bind zone does not have a Dimensional Robo Goyusha and you Persona Roll this turn, so you meet 2 different requirements here, bind a copy of Goyusha from your soul, and it gets drive plus 1 for the turn. Okay. They are so scared of this thing getting you a plus 4 to hand, the twin drive, the draw from this skill, and then the extra drive from this, that they actively lock its plus 1 drive skill behind basically a once per game. I don't remember if Branke has the ability to fetch stuff out of bind zone, but if they don't, automatically that skill is useless in the entirety of D until they print one. Because I'm gonna tell you this right now, none of the DP support grab stuff from bind, for whatever reason that may be. It's not bad. It's just, why? There have been other decks with quad drive, or not even quad drive, triple drive, or plus 4 in general, and they don't have a restriction on them, but no, Daisha over here, who already has a restriction on his power gain skill, and the draw skill, and the restand skill itself, is just nah, F you, you're not allowed to have more than one Goyusha in there. So, Daisha is... It's good. I just feel like they could have taken that a different direction, but 3 of in the main deck, 1 of in the ride deck. Kind of missed the power gain aspect, whatever. Die Battle is basically the balanced version of what Ezel can do. Great on boost, 5k show deck base. Act Soul, once per turn for Vanguard is Dimensional Robo Die Dragon. Your opponent's Vanguards are grade 2 or greater, and you have a Soul that has Dimensional Robo Goyusha, Die Lander, and Die Mariner. Put a hand card to Soul, choose up to 1 Dimensional Robo Daisha from your ride deck, ride as stand. Okay, let me just stop you right there. If you play this deck with the respective ride line, all you have to do is just grab the order via Dilander, set it immediately, search your deck for this, and then pray that you get another turn. Either send Dilander to Dimariner to Soul, who you can just hard mulligan for, but if you don't, and you just happen to have a second copy of this, send it to Soul, automatically you have enough for Die Battles. Anyways, free stand, which is good, and then auto when, not free stand, free ride, and then auto when placed on rear guard from your soul by card's ability. Your Vanguards are grade 3 or greater, Daisha's card name, and your opponent's Vanguards are also grade 3 or greater. Your Vanguard's original critical becomes 2. Okay, that's useful. Having a Vanguard that restands, that has double crit, and has decent power is all around pretty useful. It's a good card for that reason alone. The superior ride, just... as consistent as it is, do not get me wrong, is completely unnecessary, because you're only going to use this if you are going second, and if you are going first, you can just choose not to ride to grade 3 for whatever reason that may be. But I'm gonna tell you this right now, you're probably going to, because A, is going to give you an extra attack, and B, you're going to get triple drive or twin drive plus a card, so take that as you will. Then we have Mariner, probably one of the better of those support cards for this deck, or on boost back Casuality base. Auto and ditch from the hand during your turn via any means, you may put it to soul. So not mandatory to put to soul, but if you want to, it doesn't matter if it's during the ride phase, the battle phase, the main phase, etc. It doesn't matter what it's ditched for, it just goes to soul if you want it to. So that's already good. And then auto and placed on rear guard by card abilities, if your Vanguards are grade 3 or greater with Dayushin's card name, until end of turn, this unit gets to 2k and your opponent cannot intercept. Okay, so we went from giving the Vanguard power to saying screw that, but we know if that intercepts. Okay, you know what? That's fair. I get it. Like, here's my opinion on Mariner. Unless your opponent's rear guards are heavily going to be the difference between you winning and you losing, or like you being able to kill him that turn and you not being able to kill that turn, you do not call Mariner. You call Lander, die battles, and one of these two via the skills of your order, because you are not going to need that 2k intercept unless you are that confident that intercept is going to make the difference. So, 4 of Mariner, very good support card. This is what you mulligan for. And we have Super Dimensional Robo Dil, Great Turn Set 5k, Shield 10k base. Okay, this is what happens when they take of old vanilla and then actually do it properly. Auto placed on rear guard circle via Vanguard, Dimensional Robo, and Scarlet. Counter boss 1, search after any one base card reveal, put your hand shelf your deck. Cool, free base, again, you can search Aegis, you can search of the DP one, which is nice. And then auto rear guard, when this attacks a grade 3 or greater unit, if your order zone has 2 or more bases in it, this unit gets plus to the power for that battle. So this is a 20k swing, which is pretty solid. It literally just does that for free. And 25k swing if you plus Dayusha, 35k swing if you Persona Road. All around Dil is a very solid grade 2. I actually think she's really great and literally the best support card in this entire deck, so 4 of. Then we have the things that made me like this card a lot less, because I realized it was a cycle card from these. Eerie Fixer Dragon, and Exalted Dragon, also Reflexile Dragon, and Lawrence Glare Dragon. All of them are grade 2 and 5k shields, 10k base, with the respective nations of Dark States, Kyoto Sanctuary, Brandgate, and Dragon Empire. All of them have auto when they're discarded from your hand during your turn. If your Vanguard's a grade 2 or greater, Soul Boss 1 call in the rear guard circle, and if it is your battle phase, they cannot attack to the end of that turn. And they all have different skills that gain boost with continuous effects. So for Lawrence Glare, you have to have more rear guards than your opponent. For Rex Tile, if literally any card was placed into your order zone that turn, it gets boost. So, play any Brandgate deck, set any order, and automatically it gains boost. Probably the easiest one of the group. Exalted Dragon, literally plays anything by card's ability. Again, second easiest of the group. And then Eerie Fixer, well, send 2 or more cards into your soul by card's ability. Okay, all I'm gonna say is this. Out of all 5 of them, if we're just going based off how the nations play, overall, every deck in the nations, are considered into this, I'm gonna say this right now, these 2 are the easiest. Where is it? This one and this one. Because most of the decks in those nations run orders, or in Brandgate's case, all of them run orders. And to be fair, with Stoicheia, all of them do run orders, or all of them have very accessible generic orders. This one is easy to pull off, but you can brick. There is such a thing as you just not drawing soul charges, and trust me, that has happened before, and it's kind of annoying. So yeah, that's my argument to him. Exalted, there are some decks that don't superior call, such as Hexa technically herself doesn't superior call, so there's that. And then Lawrence Glare, well, there are some decks that don't focus on rear guard manipulation so much. Ahem, Nirvana, that doesn't involve Strava Arena spamming, so take that as you will. And even if you're spamming Strava Arena with this, I don't think you would use this with it. So either way though, they're okayish cards. Run them as you will, is 2 over 3 of depending on their respective decks. Hell, maybe even 4 depending on their respective decks. Next up we have Melody of the Magical Flower Taka, grade 1 boost back KO deck base. Okay, this thing looks really badass, and if we're just going by the snakes in the background alone, I would say this is KO support, but I don't think it is. Active rear guard once per turn, rest of this unit, choose a card from your damage zone, put it to your soul, then if you put the top card of your deck into your damage zone face down, and if you put a grade 3 or greater card with a different card name from your Vanguard, you may soul charge once. So it actually does work with Chaos. It actually is Chaos support legitimately, and I was actually just going based off the snake. I was joking about that, but cool. It's not mandatory soul charge if you don't want to be, which is nice, but it could also help replace damage zone cards. Just choose any card in your damage zone, so it could be a face up damage or it could be a face down damage, which is all around pretty solid. It's just a simple rest for all of this, and again, this soul charge charge effect is not mandatory at all, so I do like this grade 1 a lot. I think it's really cool looking, both art and skill, so I say this is a nice 3 of possible in Chaos, or like any deck that wants multiple different card names. Then we have Casuality Flare Dragon. I don't know why this is reminding me of, like, I think it's called Fluorescent Dragon. It was a Zodiac Time Beast, or at least it was a Zodiac Time Beast support for G. I think it came out the same time around Chronojet, or not Chronojet, Chrono Fang. Grade 3, 10%, 13k base. Act rear guard once per turn, Energy Blast 2, and retire one of your other rear guards. So Soul Charge 1. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards, kill it, and then this unit will get plus 5 to the power for that turn. Okay, that is the first time I've seen a card like mention retire in its text for an actual skill, at least in a while. But then, cool, so let's unpackage that real quickly. Energy Blast 2, murder something, Soul Charge, murder something else, but this time in the opponent's field, and it'll be an 18k. Honestly, I actually like this card. I think this card will be very interesting. For play, I already have an idea for this. If Bushy would give me a grade 3 to warrant trying this with, I'm not going to say it out loud because I feel like they're going to, but if they give me a grade 3 worth trying for this, I will run this as a 4 of, because I'm thinking of a very specific deck plan in mind. So a 4 of Causality. If that situation does come up, I'm pretty much banking on their new Dark States grade 3, heavily relying on a very specific card, and if it doesn't, then well, I'm never going to use this card ever again. But 4 of if this plan works, and we'll all see it happen when that grade 3 comes out. And now we move on to our last reviews for the day. First up, we have Divine Blaze Eye Enry. So grade 2 boost, 5k shield, 6k base, the standard auto road upon facing draw card. Okay, honestly, I really love the art style of this entire deck that I glimpsed at while I was stuffing them into Discord. I really hate that they didn't just call all of them Divine Blaze Eye, because that's a really cool name and they wasted it on a starter, and he looks really cool. But all around, the standard draw skill's fine. Divine Blaze, your Sinfuls, the grade 1, again, very cute. Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto when rode upon by Flame Severing Dragon Baldrass. So possible only the top 7 cards you text, which have 2 cards with different grades from among them. Reveal them, choose a grade 3 card from among the revealed cards, put it to your hand, and put the other revealed cards into your soul. Shuffle the deck. All around pretty solid, because this is just a way to get either 2 free soul cards or just deck thin for 2 cards all around, and that's pretty solid. So I do think it's a solid 1 of, though its skill kind of doesn't have that payoff outside of soul. And then we have Flame Severing Dragon Baldrass, so grade 2 instead of 5k shield, 10k base. Honor wrote upon by a grade 3 card, Cult of Blaze in its card name, draw a card, then choose up to 1 grade 3 card from your hand, call it a rear guard circle, and if you did not call, choose a card from your hand and discard it. So you either discard a hand card or you just get a free rear guard, so obviously you're going to take the free rear guard. And then continues rear guard if you have a grade 3 of greater Vanguard Cult of Blaze in its card name, gets plus power, active during both players' turns, so 15k base is all around pretty solid. So obviously, you're always going to use that skill to call a card, because regardless of what unit you're picking in your hand, it is better to get it on the rear guard than discard it. So there's that. Then we have Fiery Immolition Dragon Blaze. So act Vanguard once per turn, cost counterblast only the top 5 cards you deck, so 2 grade 3 or less cards with different card names from this unit from on them, reveal them, choose up to 1 of them reveal cards, call to rear guard, put the other into the soul, and then shuffle your deck, and then auto Vanguard. At the end of this unit attack, perform one of the following: Soul Blast 2 for each of the cards Soul Blasted for this cost, so 2. Choose up to 1 of your rear guards with the same card name as that card, stand them, and then that you get plus 5,000 power for the turn. So either you stand your rear guards with the same name as the Soul Blasted cards and give them 5,000 power, and then or Soul Blast 2 with cards with the same card name as this unit and discard a hand card. To stand this unit, give it 5k and a drive -1 till the turn. So regardless, you have to Soul Blast 2. The difference is, to my understanding, this can either turn into a 5 attack deck very easily depending on what ends up in your soul, or it could not. I don't know how to feel about this one. I mean, yeah, it can send a bunch of stuff to soul, but you're not going to get this restand unless you're actively using every other skill that soul charges to get to that restand, because he cannot send himself to soul. So anything that recycles in this deck is definitely going to be wildly appreciated, because you still have more copies of it in deck 2, therefore get out with Cult of Blaze. Is not a bad grade 3. He looks really cool. It's just that his skill is not the greatest in the world. Then we have Fire Pole Emperor Daijaru, auto rear guard once per turn, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, by the way. If you have grade 3 grade Vanguard Code of Blaze in its card name, rest this unit, choose a normal unit without Sentinel from your drop zone, bot deck it, and then choose one of your units with the same card name as the chosen unit, and it gets plus power for that turn. So this is pretty much the Murakumo line. This is more or less the Murakumo line of D, and then auto rear guard. When your grade 3 or greater Vanguard Code of Blaze in its card name is attacked, put this unit to soul, choose one of your Vanguards, and get 50k for that battle. Okay. That actually is pretty good since you A, want more soul cards, but B, that is just a really good defensive skill. I actually do think this great one's pretty solid and makes this deck a whole lot better. So easy 4 of, if only the second skill also sends something to soul, but hey, it is what it is. Then we have Drag Raider Jaden, grade 2 instead 5k shield, 10k base. That card looks really badass. Auto when placed on rearguard circle. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard code Blazon's card name, card must 1, choose an opponent's rearguard, murder it, then ditch your hand card, choose an opponent's rearguard, kill it. So combos want to murder something, then if you want to, ditch a hand card, murder something. And then auto when is retired from rearguard or guard circle. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard code to place on card name, send it to soul. Cool, free soul charge, all around is that actually is a pretty solid effect. I love the art, I love the skill, easy 4 for me. Then we have Ember Breath Dragon, grade 3, 200 persona, 13k base. Okay, change rearguard during turn. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard code to blaze on card name, plus 5,000 power, so 18k base. And then act rearguard once per turn. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard code to blaze on card name, card boss 1, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 card from among them and reveal it, call it to rearguard, or if you reveal it a grade 2 less normal unit, put it to your hand if it's not, and then shuffle the deck at the end of your turn, put it to soul. So put this unit to soul specifically. So either you get a rearguard if it's a grade 2 less normal unit, and if it's not, so either if it's a grade 3, a grade 4, or a trigger, or an order, it goes to hand, and then at the end of the turn, Ember Breath goes to soul. Again, solid. I wish this deck had more ways to call from soul outside of Ball Dressler here, but you know what? It's fine. It's okay. It works. And then we have Flame Kickboxer Tyron, grade 2 instead 5k shield, 10k base. God, I hate the fact that Bushy just revealed dumped us. Anyways, auto rearguard when this unit attacks into anything. If you have a Vanguard, if you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard code to blaze on its card name, it gets plus 5 power for that turn. And then auto rearguard at the end of battle, this unit attacks into anything. Choose a grade 3 card code to blaze on its card name from your ride deck. You may reveal it if you revealed a card, or you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard code to blaze on its card name. Shuffle this card as solo draw a card. Okay, I was about to say, as I was reading that through, if they are really going to make us run that one, like grade 1 that could send ride deck cards back to the ride deck, I'm going to be really mad, but okay, this is fine. It gets you a soul, it gets you a draw, it's a 15k swinger, all around Tyron is nice, and you know, it's not a once per turn with that 15k, which or 5k, which means if you stand it with your code to blaze, it's a 20k swing. It is a solid grade 2, I do like its art, 4 of. And then finally, we have the grade 2 order, which for some reason didn't come with a name. Anyway, that art is really cool. This, I can say this firmly, this is one of the few decks where, like, on release, I truly loved their art style through it all, which is rare that happens. Anyways, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose to 1 card from one of them, reveal, put it, perform one of the following. Either send the reveal card to soul and shuffle, or if you reveal a card, the same card into the Vanguard, put the reveal card into your hand, shuffle your deck. Okay, free Persona ride, but, I mean, to be fair, you can still send it to soul anyways, and then if you rearguard or soul has a great choice unit card with the same name as that reveal card, call it to rearguard instead, shuffle your deck. Okay, it seems like most of the time, you're going to want to send it to soul, unless, like, you really need the Persona right and you're going to get to your next turn guaranteed, or you already have that card on board and therefore you want to send it to soul so you know you can use Code to Blaze effectively. Either way though, that's it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. This deck does not look that particularly good, but I mean in terms of art it looks good and their skills look interesting to say the least, so I can't wait to try them out, specifically Jaden over here. So I'll see you all in the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join us on Twitch, and don't forget to stand up your Vanguards.